Alright, ladies and gents, I'm back. First, I'm going to upload the Magic Online speed version of these games. And they do require a lot of commentary. Some of the main things that you will be seeing here is infinite combos, infinite life gain, infinite counters. If you cannot keep up with it because you do not know these decks and know what these cards do, I am going to release a video very shortly explaining what all happens, so that being the case, if you want to know more, hear the commentary, just stick around and I'll have a video out pretty soon. But I just didn't want to have, people who actually know these decks listen to the commentary the entire time because it might be unneeded. For someone like me, I think the Magic Online thing still goes a little fast, but you could just use YouTube's feature to slow the video down. That way you can keep up with it. The only thing you won't hear is the commentary for right now, but like I said, video coming out here pretty soon. It's going to have all the commentary on there. Alright, so without further ado, let me go ahead and get this started. And I'm going to take my camera off of here just because I don't want you all who slow the video down to be sitting there watching me move in slow motion. Okay, so that was game number 1. I guess I don't need to have Bolus up here. Alright, Bolus. Okay, there you go. And I could probably use a small camera instead. Nope, not that. Definitely that. Take that one off. Okay, so a couple things that we saw happen in this game. My opponent did pull off an infinite life gain combo. Infinite life. So after that, me and him agreed that, hey, you can't dive with regular damage. But that doesn't scare me at all because I know my deck has tons of win conditions, and that being the case, I was like, you know what, I'm fine with just agreeing that you have infinite life. But at the same time, another thing was the fact that my opponent has to sacrifice 6 permanents every time I attack him because of Annihilator 6 on Emrakul. So because that's the case, my opponent has to sack 6 permanents this turn. Next turn sack 6 permanents and so on and so forth, which means he will never have lands or be able to play anything at all. So because of that, he decided to scoop so we can go to game number 2. Initially, I was thinking, oh man, this guy might be a jerk and just decide to gain a crazy infinite amount of life, and then after that, just only lose one game because he was a sore loser. But it was quite a surprise for me when my opponent actually scooped. I was a little surprised by it, honestly, because yes, I was going to be able to do all kinds of crazy stuff, but it would have taken me a while. Potentially. I was drawing cards turn by turn. I know it would only take, at this point, one Planeswalker for me to end the game, but I didn't get it yet, so I was thinking here I would just go ahead and play it out and see what happens, and then my opponent scooped. And, like I said, because of him sacrificing permanents every turn, that is why he decided to scoop. Alright, so I'm going to play game number 2, once again at Magic Online speed, so y'all want to watch that one instead of the one with the commentary? Go ahead. Just make sure you slow it down because it goes kind of quickly. Alright, let's put my bolus here to show them off a little bit. And get this game set up. Okay. Alright, bolus. Seen enough of you for now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play game number 2. So if you're going to slow the video down, now is the time to do it. So, as funny as that is, people, that was game number 2. I know you all did not see a lot happen there. If you don't know the decks, that's what you think. Couple things that happened. Infinite life gain, infinite counters. So it's 2 things that happened right there. Infinite life gain, infinite counters on my opponent's turn. And it's only 3 turns into the match. Now, at the end of this match, I told my opponent I was just going to go ahead and draw my next card to see what I get. Because quite honestly, there was nothing for me to do here. He messed up when he was doing his infinite combo, and he accidentally clicked on his Conclave Mentor one too many times. He should have put the counter back on the Spike Feeder, that way he could keep his infinite combo going. But like I said, accidentally clicked on his Mentor instead, which with the Magic Online program, it's extremely easy to make mistakes. So yeah, I know for a fact he had infinite life and infinite counters on his creature. I just went ahead and scooped. Alright, let me go ahead and set game number 3 up. Now, this game number 3 is super action-packed. I would absolutely recommend watching the video that I'm going to upload about this game afterwards, because watching this video of this game doesn't do it justice. And quite honestly, I think if you all don't watch the video, you're going to miss a lot of things that happen. But if you think you can keep up, I'm going to go ahead and play this and give you all the opportunity. So let's go ahead and get my camera off of here. Alright. Hope you all enjoy. Alright, peeps. So, like well saw, that was a action-packed game. Let's see. Ended with a Khan liberated having 96 96 loyalty counters in a current great creator with 80 counters on them. And then, you know, you got a bunch of other planeswalkers here. So, that board state looks ridiculous, right? Look at how many permanents I have. Crazy. But, believe it or not, I think Magic Online just crashed again because I was oh my gosh. Did it? Okay. I think it was trying to resolve. It was trying to resolve what actually crashed the game. So, when I was playing against my opponent, remember earlier, it stopped at this last current great creator right here. What happened was I used Nicol Bolas's ability to make copies of himself via Jace Cunning Castaway's ability, the -6 ability. And whenever I did that negative ability on Nicol Bolas Dragon God, it crashed Magic Online. Like the game actually froze on my end, and it was waiting for my opponent to get priorities to go ahead and, you know, confirm or try to respond to what I was doing. But what happened with that is the game froze on my end. I was waiting for my opponent to play, and then he said as soon as he clicked OK, he saw that my timer had froze, but his timer was still ticking for a little bit. And like a couple seconds afterwards, it kicked him out of the game, and it told me that I won. So because there were so many loyalty counters on Nicol Bolas's, and that many Nicol Bolas's being made at the same time, I actually crashed the game that we were playing in. So I haven't seen a lot of videos about people crashing Magic Online, but this for sure is definitely one of them. Like, look here, I had to do the math with how many counters would be on Bolas, and it ended up at 64 as well for me. But seeing the Nicol Bolas's at 64 loyalty counters, and then I'm just going to keep scrolling here to show you all how many Nicol Bolas's were made. And I'm still scrolling. Nope, it won't let me scroll anymore. I think I might have just used up all the space that was on the board, maybe? Because it was initially, it's supposed to be, I think, like 32 copies of Bolas that ends up on the battlefield. Or, I think it's supposed to be... Anyways, that's a lot of math. Or maybe it was 16. It's either 16 or 32. Because let's see. Let me get a calculator out. Figure this out. It's supposed to start out with 2 boluses because of, you know, the ability. Then it's going to multiply it to 4 boluses. And then it's going to multiply it for the next doubling season. So that's 2 doubling seasons now so far. And then the 3rd doubling season would be 16. And the 4th one would make it 32 copies of Nicol Bolas. So the game was supposed to give me 32 copies of Nicol Bolas with 64 loyalty counters on each, and they all have the ability of every planeswalker on the battlefield. So now, if we were to go through and look at how many copies Nicol Bolas has. Oh, let's see, does it allow me to right click it? Starting loyalty 4, and it has 64 loyalty counters. Ridiculous. Let's scroll through all the abilities of Nicol Bolas here. And that's it. So yeah, Nicol Bolas, loyalty counters, 64 abilities of every planeswalker in play. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I crashed Magic Online. But I had to speak to my opponent afterwards, after this happened, and he was telling me exactly, you know, what was going on his end. Like, initially when I started comboing off, he recorded it as well. And then when it got to the point where the Nicol Boluses were there, he was just like, what the heck? And then it just froze for him. And he was telling me about his response to when the game just froze up. And next thing you know, he was kicked out to the starting screen and he lost the game. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make the commentary videos for all the people that want to hear the play-by-play on what all happened in these matches.